everybody, it's Mr. G. Welcome back to the channel. Today what we're going to be doing is working on the C5 Corvette. We're going to be doing a very simple mod to get rid of that notchy feel in the 6-speed shifter. So, stay tuned. Hey folks, this is Mr. G and welcome to Just Corvette Crazy. On this channel we talk about Corvettes, we fix some Corvettes, and we love to drive our Corvettes. So if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out a lot. Thanks. One issue with the 6-speed transmission, which is known as the T56 6-speed transmission. It's a very common transmission that was used throughout the 90s and early 2000s. There happens to be one in my 02 Z06 Corvette. One of the issues is the shifter is very notchy, and what it means to be notchy is when you move the shifter, it doesn't move nice and smooth. You can feel it kind of click into place. And a lot of people find that annoying. It's not a smooth shifter. You have to give it a little bit extra force to put it into gear. It's a very simple mod. Basically, it consists of taking a couple of washers and installing them in the transmission. It's a 5-minute mod, $2 worth of parts, and it does $1 million worth of improvements to that shifter, especially if you have a short shifter like I do. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put the car up into the air, and while I do that, you go ahead and subscribe, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so here we are underneath the car, and what we're doing is we're looking on the passenger side right about where the exhaust joins, and we're going to go right up on the top right side of the transmission, and we're going to find a 24 millimeter nut. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove that. So it's attached to actually a little spring-loaded ball that kind of moves with your shifter. So as the shifter moves, it moves this ball, and the spring-loaded ball is what gives you that notchy feel. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove that, and then we're going to place a couple of these spacers or washers, and then reinstall. Now there's no fluid there, so we don't have to worry about anything dripping. It's a dry system up there. So let me show you where it is, and then we'll remove it. Alright, so right there in the center of your screen, pretty much right there is what we're going to be removing. So it is a 24 millimeter socket that is required, and all we're going to do is back that out and install the 2 washers and then put it back. It's a real simple mod, and it makes a world of difference. So again, you're going to locate the area where the rear exhaust joins the H pipe, and what you're going to do is you're going to follow that right up and above on the transmission. Right in there is where you're going to find that nut. So I'm just going to put my socket on it and remove it. What I like to do is put my socket up there first, and I'm using a 24 millimeter deep socket with a very small extension, and then I put the ratchet on and basically we remove. It's not in there all that tight. There's nothing really holding it in place. and then you remove that part. So basically here's the part, and what it is a little spring-loaded ball, and that spring-loaded system there is what's causing the notchiness as you swing by it with your shifter. So what we're going to do is we're basically going to take a little bit of load out of that by placing a couple of washers on it. So basically like this. And what that does is it kind of takes a little bit of the preload out and then loosens up where your shifter can swing past. Some people place one, so you can do one, give it a try. If it's still too notchy for you, do two. I've even heard of a couple of people doing three. So what we're going to do is basically reinstall this. Okay, so we're going to reinstall this system with these two washers, and it's just going to go back up into the same place as where we were before. Alright, so we're just going to feel around up top, find that hole, thread it in by hand. Once you get it going, get it around a couple of times, and then put your socket on it. And then ratchet. And you don't have to torque this a lot. Once it comes snug, you stop. And it's done. So real simple, 5 minutes, and that is the Anti-Venom mod. $2 worth of washers, $1 million worth of improvement on that shifter. So what we'll do is we'll bring the car back down, and I'll show you how nice and free the shifter works. But once that's all done, it makes a big improvement onto that 6-speed T56 transmission shifter. Be right back. Alright, so we're back in the car now after the mod, and you can see that the shifter is a lot smoother than what it was before. Now there's still a little bit of a notch to it, but nowhere near what it was before. So again, if it's still a little bit too much, you can put another washer, or if you prefer a little bit more of a notch, then go ahead and only put one. But I'm going to give this a try. Seems to be right for me. Alright, so that's the Anti-Venom mod. $2 worth of washers, $1 million worth of improvement, especially again if you have a short shifter. So I hope this helps. Please take a moment, subscribe to the channel. There's lots more to come. Again, until next time, keep the rubber side down, everybody. Take care.